Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple, presented by WinBet on GrindCityMedia.com. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. I am not Rob Fisher. Single on Lang. I am Lang Whitaker. You're watching The Odds Couple presented by WinBet. And I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm usually on the other side of this room sitting next to a guy with a buzz cut. John Roser's not with us today right now. But Rob Fisher is with us in virtual spirit, if not literally in person. There he is, Rob Fisher. Single on Skype on Fish.
That's right.
How are you, Rob?
Skype on Fish. I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
It's
You're in
season.
You're in lovely San Francisco, right? Yeah, with the Grizzlies who play the Warriors tonight. And I'm here in the studio. Roser's not here. Roser's on the way to to Nashville to watch the San Francisco 49ers play the Titans tonight, his beloved 49ers. CJ's here. He wasn't with us last week.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
CJ's back.
I can't wait to get this show started. Talk about some of these bowl games, baby.
Well, we got to talk about some things we learned last week. And one of the things I learned was not to listen to CJ when it comes to the Celebration Bowl.
It happens. What do you want? I can say the same thing about listening to you about picking UGA versus Alabama, but I didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, but the Georgia-Alabama game, like, you know I'm biased in that one, right? Like, everyone knows that. I went to Georgia. Like, everyone knows I'm – you should, like, take that with a grain of salt. Also, like, we've all watched Georgia and Alabama play a lot of games this year. Like, you are our HBCU expert on this program. And so when it came to this game, I was, like, willing to trust your opinion on it.
I mean, it was a big upset, though, right? Like,
it was a 10-point spread, right?
Yeah,
like,
Jackson State was favored by 10.
Yeah.
And ended up losing 10-31. So they ended up losing by 21. That's 31 units, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that coming. Nobody did. That's not my fault. It happens sometimes. That's why we play the game, baby.
Why did it happen?
Why? Turnovers, right? South Carolina State didn't drive the length of the field. All of South Carolina State's points came on the short field. And by short field, I mean really short, like inside the Jackson State 30.
Yeah.
So that'll do it. There was a pass that ended up hitting the receiver in the shoulder that got picked inside like the 15. There was somebody came blind off the edge, hit Shedeur Sanders. He fumbles the football. They pick it up, and they're inside the 2 at that point. Another interception put them inside the 30, right? So that's where all the points came from for South Carolina State. And it's just South Carolina State made Jackson State play a bad game of football, which we hadn't seen this year.
The other Sanders, not Shedeur, Shalomi, is that his name? Shiloh Sanders. I hadn't watched a lot of Jackson State this year, but when there was a play where Shiloh got an interception or something
early in the game, like first and second
and
possession.
It looked just like his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I grew up in Atlanta. The Falcons were my team. Deion's my favorite athlete of all sports because he played on both the Falcons and the Braves when I was a kid. When Shiloh Sanders got the interception, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Deion. Like, that was really cool. Just his mannerisms, his movement, the way he moved. But then to me, the best play is that dude on South Carolina State scored a touchdown and hit the Deion dance in the end zone. He was doing
2-stepped on him.
Yeah, that was impressive. Rob, what'd you learn this week?
Well, a couple of things. Are we not going to say anything about CJ's attire today?
No, I wasn't going to say anything about it. I mean,
is that just normal? I mean, you have a
normal.
Christmas tree on your head.
The shirt is normal.
The shirt's something you would wear any day.
Every day I wear a Ninja Turtle shirt.
Yeah. I wasn't really taken aback by the shirt. The hat, I just kind of thought, oh, okay.
I didn't realize how high up this hat is. You can't get it in the shot, but yes.
It looks kind of like the Pied Piper or something. Like
That's right.
I mean, this is the tree, and underneath the tree is the gift. I'm the gift.
Okay.
I understand. Yeah. Merry Christmas. No, you look fantastic. I also learned that I can't get my picks from CJ. I thought maybe that would turn around my season, but didn't. But the other thing I learned this week had to do with basketball. Monmouth Hawks. They finally didn't cover a game. They got beat. Bad game. They got beat. I forget. Colgate. No, not Colgate. Who was it? It was
Colgate was
look.
they
can't
played last Sunday. They played Colgate. Monmouth.
Yeah, Colgate was on Sunday.
I only know that because
Hofstra.
Yeah.
Hofstra got them, and so it's the first time that Monmouth didn't cover this year. They're now 12-1 against the spread, 10-2, or 11-2. No, 10-3 now, straight up. But yeah, their first loss against the spread, and it was sad because I had everybody trying to jump on that bandwagon with me. And Monmouth, this year's Drake. You remember last year Drake was the team that was amazing. This year Monmouth now 12-1 against the spread. But I'm going to keep riding them. I'm going to keep riding them until there's a losing streak.
Well, I don't know how long that'll be. What do you think? I mean, it's a one-game streak right now, right? Like they lost.
Yeah. I mean, it happens again. Yeah, I'll stop riding them. But I think they'll get back on the winning ways. Monmouth, take the Monmouth Hawks. They're the team of the year in the NBA.
What
or
conference
in the
are
college
they in?
basketball.
What conference
They're
are
in
they
the
in,
Metro.
Rob?
Metro.
I don't even know what that is. What is the Metro Conference?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you
Memphis
what
was there for
I
a
only
little
know
bit,
that because I looked it up to see where Monmouth played.
I mean, they got Marist coming up. Then they got Siena. Ooh, that matchup with Iona is going to be good. 10-2 Iona.
There's a lot of
10-3.
This is a heavy upstate New York conversation we're having right now. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, is that where it is?
I mean, all those other schools are. They're all like the Western New York, basically. So I assume it must be up there. Maybe that's what the Metro is, like not New York City, something.
Right.
It's like it's the opposite of actually metropolitan.
Yeah. Well, they got games with Manhattan and Fairfield and Quinnipiac. I don't know how to say
Quinnipiac,
that.
yeah.
There we go. They play them. So, yeah, Manhattan. Yeah, so it's all
The
northeast.
Jaspers.
The what?
The Jaspers, I believe. The Manhattan Jaspers.
Yeah. That is correct.
The one thing I learned
Monmouth basketball. How about us? We're all over it.
we're on it, man. We're looking for things. That's why we are what we are, right? Mm-hmm. The odds couple.
That's exactly.
That's why.
That's right.
That's why we are making picks here. The one thing I learned this week was check your shoes. Because the other day I went to the gym. It's 2 days ago, and I'm about to step on the treadmill, and I kind of look down and I see a little bit of dog poop on my shoe. Oh! So I think, well, I got to take care of this. So I walk outside the gym. And they have all these spray bottles of cleaner everywhere, all over the gym now, because you clean up after yourself. So I grab one, it's paper towels. I go outside, I spray all over the bottom of my shoe, scrub it as best I can, and then I try to bang it a couple times against the concrete to get all the poop out. First time I hit it, bang, slips out of my hand, comes up, hits me right in the face. So,
Poop face.
poop face.
Poop face.
Did you run after that? Did you jog?
Yeah, I mean, I went to the bathroom and washed my face. My wife was like, "Did you go wash your face off?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, what do you think? I just left it on there? Like, yeah. I washed it off, then I ran and sweated it out. So that's what I learned this week.
That's just example number 37 of why I don't go to the gym.
That's it. Yeah, I get it. I also thought it was a sort of a good method of explaining CJ's pick of Jackson State too.
Hey,
Yeah.
what? Like
Poop on your face.
Wait, hold on.
Poop, but it was like
Jackson
poop on
State
all
is
of it.
favored by 10 points. They've been dominating everybody. I've seen them live twice, and they killed the two teams they played twice. They went to Alabama A&M, at the time number 4 ranked black college football team in the nation, and trounced them, beat the hell out of them at Alabama A&M during their homecoming. They beat the hell out of Tennessee State here at Liberty Bowl. Well, it's not Liberty Bowl no more. What's the name of the bank? Whatever the bank's name is, Memorial Stadium. They beat the hell out of them here.
I don't know what it's called either.
But how was I supposed to know? This was a South Carolina State team that lost to Florida A&M by a lot.
I'm not saying it's like a permanent stain. You can wash it off.
By South Carolina.
Same as I did.
By Bethune-Cookman, who Jackson State killed Bethune-Cookman, and they snuck by Florida A&M. I was like, yo, common teams. Jackson State is beat. Jackson State is rolling. Who the hell was I supposed to know?
Yeah. Well,
if anybody was going to see it coming, it was supposed to be you. That's the bottom line,
True.
CJ. If anybody was going to see it coming, it was supposed to be you.
just like
That's
I
all.
didn't see that poop shoe coming at my face.
That's
All of a
right.
sudden it was there.
That's right.
What are you gonna do? Hey, we're all stressed. We're all like, the world's crazy. Let's go to some place that's kind of nice. The holidays are here. We got to deal with stuff. Can we go to Hawaii? Let's spend a couple of days out. Let's have a little holiday out in the ocean. Melikaliki Maka is the thing to say. Memphis is getting ready for the Hawaii Bowl against Hawaii. And Ryan Silverfield has talked about just getting to go to a bowl game.
You know, our wonderful fans, they've shown their appreciation, the fact that we're able to keep the streak alive. And that's something we plan to do for a long, long time. And like I said, that's one of those things that we have to do, is be able to go to bowl games and compete year in and year out. Like I said before, I'm not pleased with our record as it stands right now, but that's why we continue to recruit, continue to find ways to get better, obviously go out there and find a way to win this bowl game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pleased either, especially if Calvin Austin's not going to play in the bowl game, your best wide receiver. But Memphis is favored by 8.5 against Hawaii in the Hawaii Bowl. Rob, take us through some trends around this game.
Well, Memphis, much like they've been this season, they're not very good this time of year either. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 bowl games. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 as a favorite. How about this, though? 5 of their last 6 in the month of December have gone under, and 5 of their last 6 played on Friday have gone under. Yeah. Hawaii, meanwhile, 5 of their last 6 in December also under, and 4 of their last 5 on Friday under, and 10 of their last 15 is an underdog under. I like Memphis to win this game. I think Hawaii's going to cover the 8.5. Memphis just has not been a covering team at all. They still have not covered on the road under Ryan Silverfield. Now, this is a neutral site game, not technically a road game, but away from home, they have not covered a game under Ryan Silverfield, and I like the under as well.
I don't. First of all, we can't consider this a neutral site game. They're playing against Hawaii in Hawaii.
That's true. That is true. In their home stadium. That is true. Yeah.
This has got to be considered a road game. I don't care what we paint logo on the field wise, but this has got to be considered. Also, Memphis is 3-9 against the spread this season, on the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
also for what it's worth, the line was like 4.5, 5 points, and then a story came out about Hawaii coach Todd Graham being not a nice guy. And all of a sudden, the line swings another 3 or 4 points. So nothing changed personnel-wise. It was just that turns out the coach might be kind of an a-hole sometimes. So I don't know how we look at that line or how we expect it to change. I was kind of thinking maybe the over might be the play here. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, all the trends at least say that under's the play, but I think one thing that we've learned in bowl season so far, just in the games that have been played so far, over's the play.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's playing defense. Bowl season seems to be that type of deal, but both of these teams are losing key parts to their offenses. There's not going to be any Calvin Austin for Memphis. Hawaii's playing without their quarterback. So both teams are missing significant pieces on the offensive end. So I don't know about the over-under right now, but I do know that Memphis just hasn't been able to cover away from home, and so that's why I would go with Tennessee or go with Hawaii this week.
I mean, Memphis is also missing their defensive coordinator, Mike McIntyre, who was just named head coach of Florida International. I don't know if that makes that much of a difference. I figure, it's not like you're missing 3 or 4 players, but you're missing a guy who runs your defense, and then you're missing your best receiver. Like there's some holes there, I think, if you're Memphis. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Hawaii's coach being a jerk hurts them worse than we thought it was going to. I don't know. By the way, we're all shocked that a football coach might be a little mean. Like that's,
I don't know where we are going as a society. I applaud it. I like it. But a lot of these coaches, not just football, but basketball, men's and women's, volleyball, baseball. Like a lot of these dudes is jerks. Some of these dudettes are jerks. Yeah. So the more stuff that comes out, the better. And I'm glad about it. I don't know if Hawaii coach, ran up and kicked a kicker or something like that, like Urban Meyer did. But we got to get these coaches under control.
These coaches are wilding out here. Like I don't know what's going on. It's a little weird. A team that had a hard time getting a coach, but now they have a coach, Josh Heupel, and Tennessee are set for the Music City Bowl. Tennessee's taking on Purdue, and Josh Heupel talked a little bit about the Music City Bowl.
I think everybody's excited about what the game day environment will be with our fan base. Just leading up to it, even before the announcement, when the announcement happened, I was on the road and our staff was on the road recruiting. But for our guys here inside of this program, they're extremely excited about it. We're looking forward to, and in some ways hoping that was the destination that we were going to be in. For guys that are around this region, easy trip for the families to come up and share in the experience, not just on game day, but the entire week. For our kids that are further away too, their families will be able to come in. Great city and a huge part of our base, just inside of this state, our recruiting base. And you guys know that for myself and our staff, we've tried to place a huge importance on doing in-state recruiting the right way. With us taking over with some COVID limitations as well, I think it'll be a great opportunity for myself and staff just to get familiar with some VFLs that are in the area, be able to meet with some donors, and be a great week.
What are BFLs?
VFLs, Balls for Life.
Ball for
Lang.
life. VVV.
I thought it said B. It sounds like a hamburger or something. I don't know.
Burgerfish lettuce.
V, Ball for Life.
All right. Well, first of all, look, there's no way this team was excited about playing in the Music City Bowl, right? Like,
I think they are.
They didn't want to. Oh, the Memphis players like, hey, we get to go to Honolulu, and the Tennessee players like, we're going to Nashville.
Right. I think they're just excited to be able to play more football, though. I mean, I look at them and think about where they were a year ago.
Yeah.
And just the change of just the culture. I mean, they got to feel good about themselves. I think this will be an interesting game. I like Tennessee in this game. I like it to be really high scoring as well. I mean, you talk about trends all favoring the over in this game. UT's last 5 games on grass have gone over. UT's last 5 games, period, have gone over. Their last 5 as a favorite have gone over. Purdue's last 4 bowl games as an underdog have gone over. Their last 5 bowl games overall have gone over. So I like the over 64.5 for sure. But I think Tennessee's excited to be there. I think these are 2 teams that, I think we'll be excited to be there, and we'll play a good football game. We'll play hard. I'd have nothing to be ashamed of, have everything to be proud of with their season, and you get this opportunity to play this one more game, and you're in a cool city in Nashville, and I think it'll be great. I think this one will be competitive and high scoring. I look forward to this game.
I think Purdue, like they sort of have. I mean, this is their first 8-win season since 2006, and Tennessee, to me, they weren't as bad. Like you said, a year ago at this time, it seemed like a disaster, and they couldn't get a coach, and it was a mess, and what was going to happen. And they lost 4 games this year. 2 of them were Georgia and Alabama. They lost that close game to Ole Miss where Lane Kiffin was the toast of the town, and then they lost to Florida before Florida imploded. It wasn't like they were losing to South Carolina and the dregs of the SEC, the Vanderbilts.
Right.
So I feel like Tennessee's, and like I said, when I watched that game against Georgia, you could sort of see the framework of what he's trying to build there. He doesn't have the players to play the way he wants to play, but we see all these teams now where they run up to the line and they stand up and then they look to this. Tennessee was faster than any team I've seen play this year. So I think they could build something. The one thing about Purdue is they can't run the ball. They have less than 1,000 yards as a team running the ball this season, or right around there. So I kind of feel like Tennessee gets ahead and they just kind of blow them out. CJ's our Big Ten guy.
I don't think that's how the game goes.
No.
I think that Purdue is a better team all the way around than Tennessee. I think they've got playmakers on the outside to challenge Tennessee's secondary, and I expect Purdue to win this. Now, I'm also the guy that expected Jackson State to not only win, but cover the -10. So take that what it's worth. Have y'all talked about the swag bags yet, though? Did y'all talk about
We
those?
talked about some of the other bowls and what you get for playing in some of those bowls.
Music City is giving you your choice of 80 items. So you got $400 to spend on 80 items, including J-Lab Go Air True wireless headphones, Sony over-the-ear wired headphones. You got perfume and cologne, Eternity from Calvin Klein. What else we got? Oh, we got a couple of grills here. We got some bison.
Grills?
Yes, grills. Not the ones
For
in
your
your
teeth?
mouth. No, the ones that you cook on. Got some. What's the crock pots? Got some crock pots I'm looking at.
The kind you cook on.
Ray-Bans. Yes, a lot of good stuff here. You got
Crock pots?
25 quarter.
They got stuff for coaches. They got stuff for players. I can't see any players saying, I think I'm going to get one of those slow cookers for the counter.
No.
Air fryers.
They've got a women's gold watch from Michael Kors. There's a lot of good stuff here. Sony Wi-Fi wireless speaker.
They're giving you the opportunity to go Christmas shopping, basically.
Yeah. Well, maybe this explains why the Tennessee players were happy to get to the Music City Bowl.
A DeWalt lithium drill. Rob,
y'all
know
that's
what's
like
up
a
with
dad.
that.
Yeah, that's like a dad thing. That's a dad would want the lithium drill. Something you can have around the house, do some repairs.
Breville the Juice Fountain Juicer? What is that?
Oh my.
Hey, let's talk about another team playing in their backyard. Tennessee's going down the road to Nashville. You know who else is playing right around the corner? Auburn. They get to play in the Birmingham Bowl, right up the street from lovely Auburn, Alabama. Auburn's playing against Houston, and Brian Harsin, Auburn coach, talked about playing in the Birmingham Bowl.
So it's a chance for the families to also come here and watch their sons play. And so as much as we've talked about recruiting and how important that is, it's also an opportunity for the families to come watch their sons, all right, nephews, whatever, just support our players. And then, to play against a really good team. That's the other part too. It's not just, Auburn's in this game, but we're playing a really good football team. So this is going to be a good game. And we want to play well, and we want to represent our program, the SEC, and that's important to us. At the same time, hey, more eyes on us is not a bad thing, but also the support that our players will get from their families, I think, is important as well.
I like how Harsin and Heupel are both spinning this thing really heavy toward the family angle. That's the best part about playing. The families can come watch them play.
Because we can't afford to fly them to New Orleans
because they don't get to watch the other games all year. This is the bowl game's the only chance they really have all season.
It's a long trip to Atlanta for the Chick-fil-A Bowl, right?
Yeah,
like the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. We can't make that happen. Birmingham, we can do.
They can make it to Birmingham. They couldn't make it to Auburn, 45 minutes away, I guess. So, Rob, what are the numbers looking like on this thing?
Man, the numbers are kind of opposite of what I liked about this game. Auburn 17-8 against the spread as a favorite. Houston has failed to cover their last 4 bowl games. They failed to cover their last 6 played in December. Trends-wise, everything kind of leans towards Auburn.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. On one side of me kind of thinks like you've always talked, Lang, about this is an SEC team against an American team.
Yeah.
Period. With a month to prepare.
Yeah.
Who's got the better players? Who's got the better athletes? Clearly, the SEC team does. But this SEC team just lost their quarterback. They don't have a quarterback.
Although you can make the argument, TJ Finley, they almost beat Alabama with him at quarterback playing on one leg, basically.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix not only had surgery, he's in the transfer portal. He's gone. Finley's probably going to get the start. I mean, look, Houston played one Power 5 team all year, and they lost Texas Tech at the start of the season. So I kind of, like you said, my general feeling is I believe in the SEC. I believe in SEC supremacy, and I think on a neutral field, the SEC team's going to beat a team from somewhere else that, when they've had time to prepare for it. Of course, this isn't going to be a neutral field. It's in Birmingham, and family is going to be there. Brian Harsin told us a lot of family going to be there. So
that's right.
2.5 point. Auburn's given 2.5. I think Auburn is probably going to win, but
we see this happen though, and this is why for me picking bowl games is stupid because you don't know if this team wants to actually be there. I think Tennessee wants to be in Nashville, right? I don't think this is years past where we've gotten reports from that locker room saying, hey, players don't want to go to that bleepy type bowl, that S-word bowl, right? Auburn.
Stupid?
Well, close. That one.
What I got on my face.
I think Auburn might have some of that. Think about where Auburn football was at the start of the year and where they were able to climb.
Yeah.
And then, boom, lost Penn State, lost Texas A&M.
Lost Georgia.
Lost Georgia. played Alabama really, really close, almost ruined Alabama's season. I think that the players may be kind of exasperated, ready to just turn the page and get started on a new year. And if that's the case, I think Houston can come out there.
I would just say, I mean, Finley might think like this is his chance to prove something. He was 0-2 as a starter, but they almost beat Alabama, and maybe he thinks like this is my chance to kind of cement the job for next season because Nix is going to be gone. So maybe he thinks this is it. I don't know. So, Rob, any other bowl lines before we take a little break here?
Let's see what we got. So we got an interesting one on Monday. I think it's interesting. East Carolina, 3-point dog against Boston College, kind of like East Carolina in that one. Louisville Air Force, Louisville, a 1.5 favorite against Air Force in the first responder bowl. Another interesting one, the Holiday Bowl. North Carolina State traveling across the country. They're a 1.5 favorite over UCLA. I thought that one's kind of interesting. West Virginia in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. They're a 5-point dog to Minnesota. Iowa State, Clemson. This one's gone back and forth where Iowa State just a few days ago, they were the favorite in this game. Clemson now the favorite. They are a 1-point favorite over Iowa State. And Oregon, Oklahoma, another interesting one with two ranked teams. Oregon number 14, Oklahoma number 16. And the Sooners favored by 4.5 in the Alamo Bowl, which is another one to keep an eye on. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. Talk about two teams, which ones really want to be there.
Yeah.
Oregon and Oklahoma, they had their sights set on something much bigger. And if someone, one of those teams doesn't come in ready to play in that game, they're going to get blown out.
I think the difference in that one, Rob, is if you're Oregon, you're playing Oklahoma. If you're Oklahoma, you're playing Oregon, right? Like those names matter. Those names carry weight. This isn't, I'm playing East Carolina, no offense, or Houston. Again, no offense, or Liberty or somebody like that.
South
right?
Carolina State.
Gosh, I'll never live that down. Whatever. I'm done. I'm gone for the day.
No, I would say, if you're Oregon, you know that Nix is coming in to be your quarterback next year. So, like, the guys who were there, I wonder how much the transfer portal sort of affects the math on all these because a lot of guys might be playing for their job next year instead of just kind of like waiting for next year. Now, if you're one of the skill position guys, particularly where these guys are coming in, maybe you have a bad showing in one of these games, you think, well, time for me to sign up for the transfer portal or the other way around. You think, well, I got a job here next year. So I don't know. Maybe it'll make people care a little bit more than they did before. But I know one thing. Yeah. We're all going to care. We'll be watching. And we might have a little money on it. The Syndicate does not sleep. We're going to take a break, though, for right now. We'll be right back. You're watching The Odds Couple, presented by WynnBET.
WynnBET, the official sportsbook partner of the Memphis Grizzlies, is Tennessee's premier digital sports betting app. They're bringing you the action of real money sports betting right in the palm of your hand with some of the best odds in the game. From boosted parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, they have what you need to win. Sign up today and use the promo code GRIZZ400, GRIZZ 400, and after placing your first $5 wager, you'll receive $400 to bet with. There's no better way to enjoy basketball than with some extra winnings in your pocket to use for all your favorite bets. And be sure to check out the WynnBET Lounge at FedEx Forum the next time you're around to catch the Grizzlies. Betting is a team sport. Join the WynnBET team and bet with the best. Must be physically located in Tennessee and 21 years of age or older to participate. If you or someone you know needs assistance with a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Grizz fans, the official Grizzlies mobile app is your key to the game. It's an all-in-one experience updated with even more functionality. You can keep track of a team with news, social media, the schedule, stats, and the standings. And you can log into Grind City Media to watch and listen live to streaming content like The Chris Vernon Show and Rise and Grind. You can check out Grind City Media articles, videos, podcasts, and GCM talent. See what's going on right here at FedEx Forum with our concert and event calendar. Plus, you can find detailed information on seating and concessions with arena maps. You can take the app into FedEx Forum as your mobile wallet, use it as your ticket to the game for Grizz Den mobile pickup, and as contact-free payment for arena concessions. The official Grizzlies mobile app, your key to the game.
HBCU Huddle with me, CJ Hurt, and Mike Wallace has all of your HBCU football, sports, and culture needs covered. We discuss the hottest stories weekly across the black college sports landscape, including the SWAC, MEAC, Tennessee State, Lane, Lemoyne-Owen, and all the black colleges in between. New episodes drop every Thursday, and you can stay connected with the latest stories and discussions about your favorite HBCU by going to grindcitymedia.com, selecting the podcast folder, and clicking on the HBCU Huddle tab. HBCU Huddle is a spot for all your black college sports and culture needs.
Welcome back to grindcitymedia.com. Live from FedEx Forum. Now, here's more of the Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker, presented by WinBet.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple, presented by WinBet. I'm Lang Whitaker. I'm not Rob Fisher. Rob Fisher is somewhere in the ether out there on the West Coast. Yeah. Somewhere out there. I don't know what you call it. In Silicon Valley? What are you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm in the valley. Sure.
Is that what they call
it? That.
I don't know. Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
CJ's here.
Hey!
Roser's somewhere in the other valley between Memphis and Nashville, heading to Thursday Night Football to see his beloved 49ers. But we'll check up with him in a minute. But let's keep going through some bowls. There's another one I want to talk about that's going to be here in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State against Texas Tech. Mike Leach is one of the funniest quotes in college football, and someone asked Mike Leach about players opting out.
I mean, it's just so foolish. I mean, they act like they got so much going on. They don't have anything going on. I mean, all those training centers that they're going to end up at, they're all closed for the holidays. The NFL's still playing, so unless they're just doing a couple extra push-ups in their garage or something, I mean, they're not doing anything that's going to prepare them for the bowl better than playing a game, And no question, it's a bunch of foolishness, and it has a lot more to do with look at me, I'm special, and a lot less to do with preparing for anything.
I don't know what he's talking about, honestly.
What was that breath he took? It sounded like the Predator coming from around the corner.
It sounded like sleep apnea. Like I heard like a little throttle sound or something. I don't know. Yeah. But what's he talking about? Players have places to work out or push-ups in the garage? I don't know.
I don't know. That's just Mike Leach being Mike Leach. He's upset about. He thinks everybody should be playing college football.
Well, this is
not opting out. He doesn't like opt-out guys because of it's one game. I think it's kind of stupid too, but I can't blame players who opt out.
Yeah.
I mean, who have NFL careers and they decide to play. Tyler Beatty of Mizzou decides to not play in that game and instead play for the NFL instead of the Armed Forces Bowl. I don't have a problem with it.
This is sort of the Mike Leach Bowl because we all kind of became acquainted with Mike Leach when he was at Texas Tech a million years ago and invented the air raid and all that, and now he's doing it at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's favored by a lot in this game.
Yeah, they are favored by a lot in this game. They are 10-6 against the spread their last 16 games, too. Texas Tech 0-5-1 against the spread following an ATS win, which they had in their last outing. 8 of their last 9 bowl games for the Red Raiders have gone over, and Mississippi State last 4 as a neutral site favorite have gone over. As you notice, all the bowl trends seem to be leaning towards the over. It's a common thread when you go up and down these games. Trends seem to be going over for these bowl games.
The one thing I found when I was looking into this game is that Texas Tech has had 3 quarterbacks this year throw for 800 yards, at least 800 yards. So, got some arms.
And they owe Mike Leach money.
That's true. Yeah,
Mike Leach hasn't forgotten about that either. He wants to put that money on the line here for this game.
He filed a lawsuit against them a while ago, and it's still going through the courts. And
yes.
The one thing I was thinking is, so Mike Leach is coming to Memphis for this game. If Mike Leach asked you, what's the one place I should go in Memphis, knowing what we know about Mike Leach, where would you send him?
Home.
Oh, CJ says home.
Send him to Liberty.
I bet he would enjoy Graceland.
Oh, yeah, he would love Graceland.
Doesn't that?
Yeah.
It seems like something Mike Leach
Maybe
would
the
be
zoo?
into. The zoo.
Oh, I'll tell you what, not the zoo. The pyramid. Send him to Bass Pro.
Bass Pro.
He would that quirkiness. You can walk into a pyramid that has a Bass Pro logo on it and look at the gators. He would love that.
But maybe we tell him that the pyramid was constructed by the ancient Egyptians on the, and it somehow just ended up in the North America. He might believe that. I don't know. Rob, where would you send Mike Leach?
I think the pyramid is a great one for sure. Maybe is the Buccaneers still open over on Madison? We can send a pirate over there.
That's a good
I don't
call.
even know if that place is still open.
I don't know. The Buccaneer? I don't know.
The Buccaneer.
I don't know.
Check for me, CJ. See if the Buccaneers still open.
CJ's checking into it for us. I don't know. See, maybe a candy store or something, because we know he likes candy.
Yeah. Maybe the peanut shop. We could send him to the
Peanut shop's closed next week. They're moving locations. Yeah.
Well, we got a week. We got a week, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. CJ can't find the Buccaneer.
I'm on their Facebook page. The last post they had is from January 4th, 2016.
Oh.
So it's not looking good, Rob. I'm going to keep looking, though. They still got the phone number and stuff up.
Maybe they made their social media person walk the plank. I don't know.
That could be. Very good. Very good.
He would like... I think he would like Ernestine.
Oh, Ernestine the Hazels. Yeah,
because of the ghosts and the stories behind it. Yeah. Much like the Buccaneer, I'm assuming.
That's a good call. Yeah. I would like to run into Mike Leach at Ernestine Hazels downtown. Another big game coming up next week. South Carolina is playing North Carolina. So it's the Battle of the Carolinas, and Shane Beamer talked here about going up against the legend, Mac Brown.
Ton of respect for Coach Brown. He's a legend of the profession. Somebody that back in my dad's very first season at Virginia Tech, back in 1987, I think Coach Brown was the head coach at Tulane. And my dad played Virginia Tech, and Tulane played Virginia Tech, and my dad played Coach Brown in Tulane down in the Superdome that year, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty neat that my dad's first year as a football coach at Virginia Tech, he played Coach Brown, and here I am, my first year as a head coach at South Carolina, and I'm getting to play Coach Brown. I think the Hokies got the heck beat out of them that night. So hopefully this Beamer will have a little bit better success. But it's a great testament to Coach Brown and what he's about as a coach and the level of success he's had for a long time, that he's still doing it at a high level. So we've got a really, really big challenge ahead of us. They're extremely talented, and we're excited for the opportunity to go compete.
You see what he did there, right? Very slickly, very respectfully talked about how old Mac Brown is. Because he knows recruits are going to hear that and listen to that and be like, Mac Brown is so old. My dad coached against him 1,000 years ago, and now I'm coaching against him. So I see what you did there, Coach Beamer. I like it. I don't really know how to feel about this game. South Carolina was overmatched in the SEC for most of the year. It had some fun games. It looked frisky now and then, but it's the beginning of this Shane Beamer thing. And I thought that North Carolina was going to be good this year, and then they just, every time there was a big game, they just didn't show up. So I don't really know what to make of this game. What are the numbers looking like, Fish?
Well, North Carolina 1-4 against the spread their last 5 on a Thursday.
Nice.
So that's important. Yep.
Yeah.
South Carolina, meanwhile, 4-0 against the spread their last 4 bowl games when they've been an underdog. They've done a great job covering the spread down the stretch of the season here, with the exception of the Clemson game to close out the season. Now, these two teams, there is some head-to-head history between these two teams. The last 4 meetings between these two teams have gone under. In South Carolina's last 6 non-conference games have gone under. In North Carolina, 4 of their last 5 against the SEC have gone under. So a lot of under trends. This is one of the few bowl games that we've seen, and the games that we've talked about today. This is one of the few, if not only, one where the trends all say the under. That number at 58.5 for North Carolina and South Carolina in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. But under seems to be the way to go on this one.
Something's happening here because CJ just pulled out the work, play, slay notebook.
Get it, work, play, slay. Open it up and let's see what's going on. All right, North Carolina, 1-9 against the spread their last 10 games if they covered the spread beforehand. I do believe they covered their last game of the season.
Yeah.
North Carolina also 5-0 this year when they scored 35 points or more. When they don't, 1-6 or whatever. 1-6. That would do it there. South Carolina, a bottom 25 offense, statistically speaking. If North Carolina, with Sam Howell, who as of now is playing. Yeah. Right, if they go out there and they get up, let's say it's a back and forth type of first quarter, but you look up and North Carolina's up something like 10-0. I'm not sure South Carolina can score enough to keep up with the Tar Heels. So I like North Carolina. I like them big in this one.
I think North Carolina has the best player in the game, Sam Howell. But again, he's been disappointing all year long. South Carolina 2-5 against the spread their last 7 games, and I feel like this might be one of those teams that's looking toward next year already, and waiting for Spencer Rattler to show up out there in South Kakalaki. We're going to take another break, and then we'll come back in a minute with more odds and trends and other stuff. This is the picks. I forgot picks.
Hey, wait, hold. Well, how do we do? Are we going to do how we did last week?
I don't have the Fish. You have the totals from last week. I don't have them. I never got them from you.
No, because we're not done. We're not done. There were still games to be played.
Oh, that's why.
We don't have our official results yet.
That's why. Okay. All right.
Well, we'll figure that out in a second. We're going to take a break.
We know we were over on that Jackson State pick.
I didn't want to say anything. You're watching The Odds Couple presented by WynnBET.
WynnBET, the official sportsbook partner of the Memphis Grizzlies, is Tennessee's premier digital sports betting app. They're bringing you the action of real money sports betting right in the palm of your hand with some of the best odds in the game. From boosted parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, they have what you need to win. Sign up today and use the promo code GRIZ400, GRIZZ 400, and after placing your first $5 wager, you'll receive $400 to bet with. There's no better way to enjoy basketball than with some extra winnings in your pocket to use for all your favorite bets. And be sure to check out the WynnBET Lounge at FedEx Forum the next time you're around to catch the Grizzlies. Betting is a team sport. Join the WynnBET team and bet with the best. Must be physically located in Tennessee and 21 years of age or older to participate. If you or someone you know needs assistance with a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Let's transition into our favorite all-time six-man.
This one was fun to do.
Okay, let's go.
Number 1. Manu Ginobili.
There's like a move that he brought to the NBA that is still done today, the Euro step. Like,
there you
that's
go.
Manu. That without Manu, we have no Euro step.
Join Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Ray Johnson, every Thursday as we debate the hottest topics in the NBA. IMHO on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and our social channels.
You know who you've got to get on and talk Rick and Morty? He could defeat any human being in Rick and Morty trivia. Anybody. I watched somebody give him trivia questions, and I'm talking like specific moments of specific episodes, and he just bang. You know who it is? Jared Jackson Jr.
The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on grindcitymedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Lincoln Riley will be the new head coach at USC.
So you're happy, you're excited.
I'm thrilled. I got the hat on. I'm ready to roll. USC is back.
It does put a lot of pressure on Lincoln Riley because now the expectations are you're not rebuilding. Not at all. No. Now it's, I would say, in my personal opinion, it's college football playoff in the next 2 to 3 years.
Rise and Grind with Jessica and Megan. Live daily at 8 a.m. on grindcitymedia.com. Welcome back to grindcitymedia.com. Live from FedEx Forum. Now, here's more of the Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker, presented by WynnBET.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple presented by WynnBET. I'm Lang Whitaker. Rob Fisher is with us. CJ is with us. We'll get to John Roser in just a second. But first, let's talk a little bit about Tampa Bay and Carolina. Tampa Bay has got the injury bug. They're going through some things. Bruce Arians talked about the injuries they had against the Aints.
Yeah, I think it was big. You know, obviously the young guys, I was hoping they'd step up a little bit more, the receivers. And overall, we just dropped too many balls, too. I mean, when we did have some guys open, and they did a good job playing. You know, they play that hard man-to-man, and we did not do a very good job of getting open.
Obviously, the timing of all these injuries with 3 games left here is not ideal. How do you just try to approach the final stretch here with these injuries?
Yeah, whoever's up, got to go play a little better, and doesn't matter who's available, but we got to get ready and go beat Carolina.
Carolina, by the way, Cam Newton started the last 4 games, lost all 4. So, not sure if he keeps that starting job heading into this week. The Bucs still have injury issues. They literally, as we were doing the show right now, Leonard Fournette just got put on the injured list. Hamstring. They think they'll have him back for the postseason, but they have a couple games left. Mike Evans was not at the open portion of Bucs practice today. Godwin got hurt. Chris Godwin tore his ACL, so he's out for the season. So the Bucs are going through it a little bit right now. And I hate to see Tom Brady have to deal with adversity. I think nobody wants to see that, right? Rob, you got any numbers on this one?
Carolina with that total of 44. Tampa has covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, so they've had their way with the Carolina Panthers here in the last handful of games. A couple of other NFL games of note, too, that are interesting games this week. Indianapolis in Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals just a 1-point favorite over the Colts. Colts have covered their last 5 games on the road. New England, 2.5-point favorite against Buffalo. This one in Foxborough. New England 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Dallas, a 10.5-point favorite over the football team this week. Football team 10-4 against the spread their last 14 games played in Dallas. And then the big one that Roser is going to be at tonight, San Francisco, a 3-point favorite in Nashville against the Titans. San Francisco 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. And I believe Johnny Roser joins us on the phone on his way to the game.
It's the man who puts the sin in the syndicate, John Roser, joining us now on the phone. How are you, Roser?
Thank you for that intro. Very nice. I'm good. I'm staring at open land in our beautiful state of Tennessee as we are about to hit Jackson on our way to Nashville.
Okay.
To watch hopefully a 49ers dub.
Yeah, how are you feeling about this game tonight, 49ers against the Titans?
Well, so I'm nervous, but I mean, Chris keeps bringing up to me that the Titans are not any good.
Yeah.
Now they don't have Derrick Henry. They haven't been very good, but they do get A.J. Brown back. I'd love to remind him that our secondary is awful and that they can throw the ball up in the air and maybe get pass interference calls. Because the Colts, that's how they beat us. They just threw it up in the air, got like 4 pass interference calls, and beat us.
Yeah.
You always get nervous for road games, and especially it's national television, so it is a bit.
I don't know if we just lost you, Roser.
Well, driving to Nashville, that'll do it.
We can try calling it back. The one thing I was wondering with Roser is, he's driving from Memphis to Nashville with Chris Vernon for the game tonight. He's a Saint. I mean, he's a 49ers fan. He's been a 49ers fan his whole life. What jersey do you think he chose to wear to the game tonight?
Oh, good question. I think he went with Kittle. I'm going to say Kittle.
I think so, too. I don't think Jimmy G. I don't even know if he has a Jimmy G jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go with the team like the Niners. You could go bring out Joe Montana or Jerry Rice or something like that.
Right. No. Roser is a today jersey guy. I think he's a today jersey guy.
You and I
I think Kittle's a good pick.
You and I play the hits more so than Roser would, I think. Roser.
That's right.
What jersey did you choose to wear to the game tonight? We were just talking about what jersey you would wear to the game.
Well, it was going to be George Kittle, and then Chris showed up today, and he said, I actually had bought this for you just before I ever got the tickets to the game, and it came in, so here you go, and threw me the 1994 throwback Steve Young jersey, so that's what I'm going to be wearing tonight.
We just said, I just said, I was like, if you're a team like the Niners, you could go old school and wear like Montana or Rice or somebody like that. And Fish said, Roser's a today kind of guy. He wouldn't live in the past. Roser would celebrate one of the current players.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear the Steve Young. I'm gonna wear the Steve Young tonight.
Yeah.
I also have my long sleeve Nick Bosa jersey.
Okay.
On underneath. Yes, I'll
So you have
be rocking both generations.
A double shot of Niners vibes. I like it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And maybe Nick Bosa gets a couple of sacks. The guy's gotten a sack in every game this season.
Yeah, he has 15, right? Something like that. Like,
Yeah, 15 and 14 games,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
Pretty good.
And I believe that Tannehill's been sacked something like 49 times this season, something crazy. So
they're down. Yeah, they're down a couple old linemen tonight,
Yeah.
and Chris brought up the Steelers sacked them 4 times last week. So.
Yeah, I feel like the defense might be the thing to keep an eye on tonight for the Niners. Hey, hold on, Roser, just for a second. We're going to do our picks, and I'm going to get to you in a second. I'm going to start us off because it's time for picks, guys. Picks! Let's do our picks. Let's do it with Lang's Locks first. I'm going to take Auburn over Houston. Like I said, Houston's only played one Power 5 team. They lost. I know Auburn's going through it a little bit, but I think they got enough to win. I'm going to take Minnesota over West Virginia because I don't like P.J. Fleck, the coach of Minnesota, but if he was ever built for anything, it's a bowl game with these dumb sayings and all that junk. So I'm taking Minnesota, giving 4.5. Virginia, SMU, I'm just going to take the over. That's a scoring bonanza right there. I think the Packers close out the Browns this week and then take a couple weeks off before the playoffs. And the Falcons are going to beat the Lions. I've been a Falcons fan long enough to know this is the week. They're the last team still in the playoff rankings in the NFC. You think, oh, they're out of this. There's no way they're going to hang around. They're going to win this one. I can just tell you, and they're going to give everybody a little false hope. Those are my locks. Fish, take us through your picks real quick.
Well, I'm those are last week's picks for me.
Oh, don't worry about it.
This week's picks, I like Western Michigan, Nevada over 55.5. Western Michigan, Nevada over 55.5. Nevada, their last 4 after allowing more than 200 yards rushing in the previous games have gone over. Minnesota, I'm with you, Lang. I'm taking Minnesota minus the 4.5 against West Virginia. Minnesota has covered their last 4 bowl games. I'm also like you, Lang, that I'm taking the Packers minus 7 against the Browns. Green Bay 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings between those two teams. Also, I like the Eagles minus the 10 against the Giants. Giants 0-6 against the spread in December. Philadelphia 5-1 against the spread their last 6 against NFC opponents. And then in a big game, I'm taking the Patriots minus the 2.5 against the Buffalo Bills. Patriots 5-0 against the spread this season when they are favored. In their last 5 that they've been favored, they are 5-0 against the spread. So I'll take the Pats minus the 2.5 against the Bills. CJ, what do you got?
I like that Pats pick, so I'll start there. I will also take the Pats minus 2.5 against the Bills. I have the Cowboys, as I go completely out of order, but who cares? Remember, everybody.
Workplace
slay. When you do that, you can go out of order all you want. Give me the Cowboys minus a 10.5 versus Washington. Cowboys, and on top of being the better team, they're 7-2-1 against the spread as favorites. Washington is dealing with the Megatron or whatever new Decepticon variant of COVID we got running around. So I don't know who's going to quarterback for them this week. I know they're Heineke and whoever the backup was, like, they didn't clear protocols in time to play Tuesday. I don't know if they'll clear them in time to play Sunday, so give me the Cowboys there. I will take the Cardinals minus 1 versus the Colts, and give me the Panthers, Bucks over the 44. Last time Brady played the Panthers, he threw for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns, adding another rushing touchdown to it. He just had a bad game. Carolina's without their 3 best defensive backs. I think this gets to be a high-scoring affair. I know no Leonard Fournette. I know there are some injuries in the receiving corps for the Bucks, but I like this game to hit the over. I don't know who the hell is going to win, but I like it to hit the over. And lastly, Lang, I'll go Ravens plus 2.5 versus the Bengals. What a crazy-ass division.
I know.
Before we started talking about Jackson State,
the
thing I learned is all the teams in the AFC North are pretty good and basically the same, right?
Yeah.
And their records show it. Everybody's sitting there with 6 losses minus Pittsburgh, who's got like 5 losses and a tie. Like that's just a wacky division. I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
For what it's worth, Bucks, Panthers, Tom Brady's won 7 games on the road in a row in December or later. So, for what it's worth. I saw that today. There's a nugget for you. Hey, John Roser, take us through your picks for us.
All right, y'all still got me here, and y'all never know the service can cut in and out at any moment, but y'all still got me.
We love you, Roser. We got you. We always got you.
All right, this is bad. I'm going road dogs here. Road dogs like Jesse James. Ravens Alvarez and his Dolphin squad are going to eat him alive.
Yeah.
And then I got the teaser.
If somebody wanted to roll with Roser, what would they do?
16 teaser pays out plus 450. We're taking the 49ers.
Let's do it.
This is when it was plus 3.5. Now, because the line's gone down, you can get the Niners plus 4 against the Titans. The Packers as a pick'em against the Browns. The Colts plus 8 against the Cardinals. The Broncos plus 8 against the Raiders. The Bills plus 9 against the Patriots. And the Dolphins plus 10 against the Saints.
That's a lot of. That's plus 450.
I like that.
That's a lot.
I like
we
it.
can do 7 teams. We can throw the Cowboys in there because they're going to beat the crap out of Washington on Sunday night.
Yeah, they probably will.
Washington's on a short week, no time, and yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
That's right. They're not good.
Don't forget that part. All right, Roser, we'll let you go. Have fun. Go. Hope your team wins. Hope you have a good night, and be safe out there.
Look for the guy wearing the 49ers luchador mask tonight. That'll be me.
All right. Appreciate you, Johnny.
All right, see you guys.
See you, man. Rob.
Yes.
We'll see you back here next week, I think, something like that.
Yes, I'll be back next week as we. It'll be time to break down the playoff games,
The big ones.
the college football playoffs. So look forward to that next week.
I have intentionally not thought about that game, the Georgia-Michigan game, since Georgia lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game. I put it out of my mind, not thinking about it. I actually caught myself reading a mailbag about Georgia football on The Athletic this morning, and I was like, stop. Wait until Christmas. After Christmas, I'm going to look into that. So, Rob, you be safe out there. We'll see you here next week. CJ, thanks for being here this week. Sorry about Jackson State.
Thank you, guys.
It was good to be here.
It was good talking to all you guys. I like doing it, and we'll do it again next week. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, John Roser. Thank you, Rob Fisher. Thank you, Curtis Martin in the studio. Not that Curtis Martin. Another Curtis Martin. Back in the truck doing stuff. Yeah. But that's this week's show. That's the Odds Couple presented by WinBet. I'm Lang Whitaker. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to The Odds Couple, presented by WinBet on GrindCityMedia.com. Tune in next week with Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.